Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. John Megacycle here. Another episode of Production Line coming at you. I almost said Factorio. Oh, man. Anyway, another episode of this thing coming at you. First episode, we knocked out, I'd say, pretty good beginner factory. Not a super ton of stuff, but enough to get us started with a good profit margin, I'd say. All right, let's talk about facilities. Facilities break down to marketing department, power plant, maintenance department, research office, and design studio. We're going to throw down a couple of research offices. Research offices, just like any of the other slots, have a cost. They have employees, a power demand, and a research points generated. In this case, it's so many points per minute. I'm just going to chuck down 2 of them, and I'm going to pause the game. Now, we're producing research points. Research is a bit of a kettle of fish that is not explained well in the tutorial at all, but I'm going to do my best. There's 3 branches of research: technologies, processes, car designs. Let's talk car designs first because this is going to be the fastest. When we break down our research later on and we get something called a design office, the design office employs a design team, or a design studio, my bad. They research design points per minute. You choose a research, and it works its way down, and this is what gives you different body types, different modifications to those body types. The fancy stuff later on we'll deal with. The 2 things we're going to care about now are processes and technologies. Processes and technologies are both researched via research labs. Car designs are researched via design studios. So, like I said, just ignore design studios for a while, but I wanted to get to that first. Technologies are things that are specifically specified for the vehicle. So electric windows, powered steering, stop-start engine, electronic powertrain, sunroof, leather interior, headlights, tire pressure sensor. That kind of stuff is necessary here. These are the things that make the cars better. These are the car features. Under processes, these are the things that make the factory process better. So, for example, body specialization. Let's take this for example. Unlock slot, fit roof, fit doors, fit body frame. Okay. Back here, as I mentioned, if I do, it's hard to read with the me not having enough money. Fit body is what we placed before. That's this thing. But if we research body specialization, we get access to these 3 sub processes. So, like I said, if one process takes a lot longer, like fit body frame, I could build 3 fit body frames, 1 roof, 1 doors, and they would even out. Right now, we just had to slap down 2 fit bodies, and that's kind of it. Again, I'm going off of timing, and each process or slot has a certain amount of time to completion. So let's go back to our research. So each of these specializations allows us to further break down the manufacture process, making it far more streamlined, right? At the very bottom, we also have power production, which I'm going to research now. This allows us to build power production facilities on site, which means if I have the facilities to produce power on site, I'm not paying the local utility to power my factory. So power production is kind of the first thing I go through because it's another thing that's going to limit our expenditure. Right now, we're paying $10,000 an hour. Let's just say $11,000 an hour for power production. If we take a look here, it's almost eating, oh boy, capital investment. All right, because I built those facilities. But it's still eating up a significant chunk of our income just to make sure we keep the lights on, very literally. So, by building these research facilities and then building power plants on site, we'll be able to offset some of that cost. Right now, we can see here with the little microscope, we see the little progress bar there. We only have 2 research offices, so this process is going to take a while. Again, we're playing with tight budget game set. We're not paying or playing with a ton of cashish flying around. So as it very well stands, this is going to be a tight game, but these are the kinds of games I appreciate the most. Let's see here. I've got enough money for another research office, I'd say. Get it done, get it down. And the research office, just like up here, produces more points per minute, and that's going to expedite the way we do research. So, as that goes and goes and goes, we should really start thinking about how we want to operate our factory and what we want to do. There's really 2 ways I see how this, I guess 3 ways. There's 3 main ways to go about this game. You could either advance your factory production technology by breaking down processes further and further and further and further, making them more efficient, or you can concentrate on the car technology, making the cars much more palatable for the market, or a mix of the two. Me personally, I really go with option one. I really try to make the factory process as streamlined as possible, slick this out a bit, really make this working real fine so I can produce something quickly, more efficiently, faster, and better before I start working on car technology. Now the problem with that modus operandi, the problem with that is that other competitors that are playing, so there's some AI that are just playing in the background, they don't really have factories or anything, they just engage with the research system and they sell stuff, but there's not copies of this anywhere. The way in which they'll do is they'll do more the car technology. So the problem is if I take too long with the factory technology or the production process stuff, I could easily get overwhelmed with every budget car having leather seats, for example. That's not going to happen, but that's just a crazy inference of what's what. Really, I could just watch this. I could just put this as my screensaver. Make a GIF of this. Just watch this all day. In addition to the process stuff that I mentioned before, breaking out other factory processes, we can also get more robots and different processes that actually happen here in the fit slots. So the fit body, when it gets broken down, all the advancements and stuff will go there too. All right, power production. Choose next research. This game likes to do this. Hey, this is what you did, and then it just fades out. Let's see here. I wouldn't mind specifying some sort of production. Not necessarily jonesing for more robots. Let's work on the stuff that's really taken a while. Body specialization is important. Paint specialization is important. Engine specialization is important. Those are three things that take the longest for us to get really anything done here. The other things that I really like to go for are... Where are you? Administration and QA specialization. What this does is this makes sure that we have the requisite to do better checking on the vehicle, and then maintenance. Where's the maintenance? There we go. Rework, fixing defects. This is where we actually, after we identify a defect, this is where we can actually take the steps to fix the vehicle. That's important. The problem is right now we're just kicking out vehicles, whether they have faults or not. That's kind of the deal. So let's start with those three researches and go from there. Now that I'm talking about defects, let's pause the game real quick and go to our showroom. This button I didn't mention before because it really wasn't important, but these are the discounts. If a car lacks universal features, has known defects, or has uninstalled features, we can give a discount. So let's say every single time someone finds a defect, we give a 5% discount. Over Add New, you can actually add different criteria, like hours spent in showroom before discount and the discount percentage. I guess you can add multiple of those. Dang, I never actually experimented with those. Neat. Anyway, I usually start with car has known defects. I give them a 10%, just so we can get it out of there. Now, the interesting thing is, we don't know about defects yet, but when we do get to that point, I want to make sure that we can still get the defective cars out of here. That's kind of heartless. They were selling defective product, but still to point, I can't take it back and rework it. So, we have power plant we just unlocked. Takes some employees, produces some power. Over here, we're producing about 15,000 power joules, power majigs. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to slap down a couple of these bad boys. And now you can see that in the upper right, our battery icon is starting to change. So now we're producing well more than half of our power requirement that we're consuming. Now if I go to expenses, where's power? Power purchases here. It's at almost 11,000. I spent a good amount of coin getting these new generators online, but in 16 minutes, of course, minutes, hours, days, right? Not seconds. When this refreshes, this should be from 11,000 to 6,000, 5,000. Okay, we cut that in about half. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the factory leaner with the kind of research I'm doing. So that's less we have to purchase from the local authority, the local utility authority. And this makes our stuff run quite a bit more efficiently. I build 3 more. Gets us a lot closer to 100%. We don't need 100%. We can always just pull more stuff from the local utility authority, but I'd rather get us as lean as possible. Alright, body specialization. Excellent. We can start working in that once I get the rest of these power plants online. I'm going to throw down one more power plant. These things cost 30,000, 31,000. As it stands at the moment, I'm just not going to do a whole lot until we make a little bit more of our money. But by not even changing anything about our vehicle, about our vehicles or how we're selling or anything, we're making a little bit better on our expenditure. So we got 2 cars in the showroom. We'll wait till those sell. We get to about 100,000. I'll buy 2 more. I'll buy 1 more power plant. We're good. Second, I go for a drink of water. Okay. Now these power plants don't require any fuel. They just produce power. So I'm guessing by the power of Grayskull or magic or whatever. Alright, let's talk about the new research we just got. Fit body. So now, as I said, fit body is broken down into several steps, right? As you can see up here, these are all the little individual things that are going on inside fit body. Specifically right now, we have fit body frame, fit doors, fit roofs, and these themselves can be broken down to even more process. But this is where we can make much better decisions about time. So, the whole fit body is 32 minutes. Fit body frame is 20, roof is 5, let's say, and doors is 7. So I need 3 fit body frames to make as efficient for everything else. Oh good, paint is done. We'll have the exact same decisions about paint as well. Paint's a bit of a pain in the tuchus, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Oh, actually, maybe that's easier. Oh, it's a lot less expensive. Let's modernize our paint. So I'm just going to pause the game here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut this off. So we're not kicking out any more vehicle. And once these paint jobbies finish up, we're going to actually completely destroy our paint setup and rebuild it fresh. So while those vehicles are getting kicked out, let's just talk our way through. Paint takes 34 minutes. Paint undercoat takes only 4 minutes. Dry undercoat takes 12. Paint finish takes 4. Dry finish takes 14. So basically I need 1 undercoat, or yeah, 1 paint undercoat, 3 dry undercoats, 1 paint finish, 3 dry finish, to make that as efficient as possible. Make sense? It might not. Maybe it will in practice. So once this is done, we'll get this all doctored up and doctored in. Come on, guys. Anytime now. That goes away. We get a small refund, I think half, for destroying structures, objects, whatever. Later on, there's something called retooling and advanced retooling that make that percentage better. But for right now, we only get half. We just have to deal with it. Get it? We just have to deal with it? Nah, right. Okay. What'd I say? 1 paint undercoat for 3 dry undercoats. Nope. How about move this over a little bit here? Dry undercoat 1, 2, 3. And I said 1 paint finish and a few dry finish. 3 dry finish ought to do. Again, we're just going with some rough numbers here. A lot of these numbers are going to change frequently throughout the game, so I'm not super crazy about getting things precise at all. This is going to look something like this, and like that. This, and this, this, and this. The pathing is smart enough to determine whatever's closest and whatever's available, it'll go to those first. Let's just doctor that up a little bit there. Try to make this look a little cleaner so it doesn't look so clustery. Okay. And that car can determine whatever one it wants to go to. Alright. Now, one thing that I wanted to discuss before we get too much farther. Alright, all the resource conveyors are set. One more thing before we get too much farther is this has a blueprint mode. So if you're ever having any difficulty placing, moving stuff, you can go into blueprint mode. And you can place whatever you want. An engine, another engine there, an accessory there. Perfect. I'm done. You click Buy Blueprint, and it'll fit everything as you have it prescribed. It's very slick. I don't need that. I'm kind of accustomed to how the game works as I click the wrong GUI. Go ahead and resume. Go ahead and resume. Now, the cars, like I said, with the pathing, it is smart enough to figure out what's closest, what's open, what's available, where do I go. As long as you have the conveyor set in the right manner, shouldn't be a problem. But now what I've done is I've broken down the 2 paint stations. Oh, cool. Hold that thought. Hold that thought, hold that thought, hold that thought. I would actually like... looking for something in particular, and I forgot what it's called. Bear with me. Oh, smart junctions. But like improved efficiency, faster conveyor. Start with that. Good. Okay. So now what'll happen is, because this only takes, what did I say, 4 minutes? But this leg of the journey takes 12 minutes. I can feed cars through much, much faster. That's the idea behind that. So now what I've made is this process significantly less of a bottleneck, and more cars are being worked on at the same time. Again, once you've played any game like OpenTTD, like, you know, Transport Tycoon Deluxe or Factorio or stuff like that, you kind of get this idea built in your head on timings and efficiencies and stuff. This makes it really easy because I can zoom all the way out and I can literally physically see where cars are waiting for stuff to happen. Right now we're waiting on fit body, and that's actually hurting my heart with how disjointed and crap that is. But gonna wait for a little more cash, and then we'll redo that process as well. Now, why does breaking all this apart matter? I'm gonna pause the game real quick here. Let's go back to research. When we go to technologies, and let's say we want power steering. Oh no, what's a good body one? Car alarm is body? Fit doors. No, what's a good... Nope, that's electronics. Oh, here we go. Aluminum body. I need to already have the specialization for body frame in order for me to apply this upgrade. Now, when you first get into the game and you're into technologies, you're like, yeah, I want the best car, fastest car, bing, 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 and you select all this stuff. The problem with that is you don't have the facilities to do any of it yet. So you have to make sure that you have specialization in the tech field before you can actually do it. So like here, alloy wheels requires fit wheels. Powered seats requires fit seats. And we don't have that until we start doing more of the finer research. So, that's why that's important. So you'll have to start with processes first. But depending on how far you go down that tech tree, you know, differences are made. Alright, 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 alright. Yep, fit body is going to be the next tool, the next beast. Let's see here. Fit roof. Fit doors. I need 3 body frames, and 1 door, 1 roof should be fine. I need about 200. I want $300,000 before I start dinking with that. Now, as we're adding more slots, more things, more all that stuff, 2 things are really occurring, aside from better efficiency. The first thing is, all of the actual inventories are being more specialized now. Before, I don't know if you remember, but with paint, the paint had this color paint and regular paint on it for the undercoat and the paint finish. Now, each of these has their own inventory pool. So that, by and large, makes it more efficient there. The only other real side effect to that is I'm making way more purchases on inventory, but that's not really a bad thing. I'm going to go through it anyway. The second thing is there's more... employees and more power draw that's required as well. Because I'm taking one process and breaking it into 4 steps, let's say, it's not necessarily 4 times more power, but it's certainly adding more to the power draw. So it's just one thing we need to make sure that we're being careful of as we're making things better, smoother, faster, blah, blah, blah. I need to make for very, very, very sure that I'm being able to pay all my workers because I'm hiring more workers. You dig? You dig. Alright, we got a couple cars in the showroom. I'm just going to sit here and watch for a minute. Like I said, I don't really start to panic until we get about a dozen. a dozen cars is about when I started like, oh boy, slash the prices, turn the tires, whatever. Need that money. Yep, paint is now no longer a bottleneck, and that feels good. Once we make fit body no longer a bottleneck, this is all gonna just smooth. Speaking of which, why don't you stop after this car? I'm hoping I'll have 300,000 by the time that's done. And I've already got all this stock just sitting here. Now, pausing production is super dangerous if you're not paying attention. You want to make for very sure that we turn that back on when I'm done screwing with stuff. I shut this off because I'm going to be completely redoing fit body. So that's more the reason for that. It just makes it easier. I could blow up one of these conveyor belts or whatever. But the thing is, I lose the car. See the car that's on it, the frame? I lose that frame and everything that's on it. So I don't want to just go blowing up blocks and stuff. That's a waste of energy and materials and money and all that. Alright, COO. Looks like we need to produce a lot more cars. Trust me, buddy. I'm working on it. Already the factory is looking not incredibly different, but by the end of this episode, it's going to look very different from when we first had our beginner factory last episode. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Faster conveyor. Awesome. That just makes sure that boosts the speed of production line conveyor belts. I mean, exactly as it says. Let's do faster resource imports. Let's see here. I want to do chassis specialization. I think I want to get all the specializations out of the way. At least all the first level. Accessory. I don't need more robots right now. That seems like a good start. So again, with all the specialization, it breaks down all the processes into other slots. And then with those other slots, I can actually do upgrades to the vehicles. I shouldn't phrase that with a question mark. I'll be able to upgrade the vehicles, but now that we have the foundation in place, things will work much better. I'm very excited. When I get to take a big process like fit body or fit paint or whatever and tear it apart and make it better, that's something that, I don't know. There's just something in my heart that just soars. And like I said, I reference it, but just like other games, when you really have stuff going on, and I don't know, just this itches, it scratches the Factorio itch pretty hard, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. Now let's take this back a little bit here. Give me some room. I don't really have the cash, but we're coming over to that almost a dozen mark on cars. So I'm going to just cut that down one more. Let's see if that helps. These are still important cars. Like, I'm still making, 27% gross profit on it. I need to maintain that if I'm going to actually produce more crap cars. Stuff. I can always tell the COO to just shut up. There is a shut up button. Oh, this process is awful. This process is so awful. Alright. Thank you for the research. Let's see, I want 3 body frames, 1 and 1. Should be good. Now, to make everything completely streamlined, what you should really be thinking about is time to process. So no leg of the process should take longer than X amount of time, right? So I'm going to pause right here. So this is 4 minutes. This is 12, but divided by 3 is 4 minutes. This is 4 minutes, 15 seconds. This is 3, so 14 divided by 3 is a little under 5. So I want that 4 minute, 5 minute mark. That's what I'm really aiming for in this whole thing. If I can keep it to around there, I'll be pretty happy-pappy. Oh, come on. I thought you had enough stuff. Okay. That's a neat graphical glitch. You have enough stuff now? You do. Awesome. Nope, nope, and nope. Okay, and pause. Let's do a little cleanup, shall we? That always drives me nuts that the conveyors look all janky-jank. Alright. Should be able to rebuild this process pretty quick. I said 3 body frames. I'll probably take out a loan, actually. Wow, these are pretty monstrous. But it'll make sure I'm safe while I'm retooling this process without going over. So let's see here. I said 1, 2, and 3. And a singular roof. And a singular doors. Just like that. Oh! Okay, cool. I want all the notifications gone. Thank you. My rule of thumb with a conveyor is feed through one process first all the way, and then the rest is cake. That should do just nicely. Resource conveyor, make sure this is all doctored up, tapped in, tapped on, whatever. That's not what I wanted. Okay, according to that, it's connected. And this can go ahead and turn on. Did I have enough to repay that loan? I didn't. Okay, cool. Just to make for very sure I have enough stuff. So this takes 13. And I got the process down to, what? 21 divided by 3 is 7. I could have used another fit body frame. But now, the chassis assemble is starting to be our bottleneck. Not awful, but it's starting to be there. So I could use another fit body frame. Right? Fit body frame? Oh, chassis assemble. Right. So chassis assemble is starting to be our new bottleneck. But as we can see here, after we let a couple, maybe a few dozen cars pass through, we should be looking pretty good on that regard. And I'm just going to slash prices a little bit more here. 23,000 is fine. Ah. Chassis specialization. Excellent. We can break that down into its primal components as well. Good. We're getting our sales on. Okay. Chassis assemble. 6 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay. So I could do 2 fit axle, 1 undercarriage, 1 fuel tank. 2 fuel tanks sounds smarter. Let's go ahead and, after you're done with this, we'll retool you as well. Go on, go on, go on, go on. And cancel, and pause. I just like to do stuff pause, so that way I can think things through. Alright, I said what? 2 axle, 1 undercarriage, 1 fuel tank should be fine. So something like that. Something like that. Something like that. And buy blueprints, just so you see how it works. Buy all. And then get out of the blueprints mode like that. There he is. Cool. Oh, no route to stockpile. I thought I got you. Nope, it's not. Okay. So now, again, clearing up some bottlenecks. Now the actual chassis assembly is no longer the bottleneck. And we'll just sit and watch right here. We'll be able to see specifically where we're having any issues, if there's anything that's significantly missing, or whatever. But these are the 3 heavy hitters that are the big time-consuming process beasts in production line thus far. Yeah, we're looking good. More cars are being worked on at the same time. I'm liking it. Our what is this? Fit body frame is now actually being utilized appropriately, so that's good. Having too many machines and not having enough things utilized at once is also a really big problem, because it contributes to just waste, right? Like right here, I mathed out mentally that we needed 3 dry finishes, but not all of them are being used at once. Heck, I could probably sell one of the dry finish and the dry undercoat, and we'd probably be okay. I'm gonna get another power plant down. Cool. Excellent stuff. Alright, I'm gonna pause this here and take a quick break. Thank you all for joining me. My name is John Megacycle, another episode of Production Line. We're moving along. Moving along. There's a lot of resemblance to our first factory last episode, but things are changing. Things are moving along real nice. Processes are being automated. Cars are flying off the assembly. I mean, they can't fly their cars. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope to catch you next time.